All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Speak with Larry's podcast. On this episode, I want to talk about event invitations in relations to email marketing or email campaigns or setting up your email system. There are a lot of things you can do with emails, a whole lot. There are a lot of information that can be relayed back and forth to your subscribers via email, and they should be. But a lot of times we're not familiar with that. We're not knowledgeable about how that actually works so that it will benefit us and our system. So I decided to create some episodes that will help you to understand what's available and how that actually works. So I'm going to read a little bit, then I'm going to expound on some things in reference to it. So get your listening ears ready and pay attention. Quality relationships between brands and subscribers via email are essential, especially if you primarily manage your business and interactions online. But when you have an opportunity to interact with them outside of the inbox, whether in a conference room or a webinar room, the relationship can only get stronger from there. When inviting subscribers to meet up with you in person at a conference or attend a webinar, there are certain messages you'll want to convey within your emails. The same can also be said for any follow-up emails that happen afterwards. For any time-sensitive events, we recommend using a broadcast email and sending it to relevant subscribers on your list. If you plan on hosting a recurring recorded webinar, however, that can be set up as an automated email or campaign. For example, if you set up an automated welcome campaign for your business newsletter, you might want to include an invite to attend a recurring webinar that goes into greater detail about your business and products. Now, that's event invitations. You see how simple that process works? It's not difficult, but let's say you wanted to create an event. And webinars, I like webinars because you can do a webinar from wherever you are, right? No, everyone doesn't have to be in the same room. Or, an opportunity to get people in on a product that you're willing to sell or that you're selling for yourself or someone else can be a good arena for a webinar as well. But the thing I want you to take away from this quick episode is that there are a lot of things that are available when you're dealing with the email system. So as you are setting your system up, you always want to be confident or competent about the process for a certain thing. For instance, if you're setting up an event, you wouldn't want to set that up as if you were setting it up for a newsletter because it wouldn't work in the same regard. Plus, you also have different lists. And you might have a list for, let's say, subscribers who've been on your list for 90 days or subscribers who've been on your list for 30 days. And the ones who's been on there for 30 days, you may not want to send a broadcast to in reference to an event, or the one who's been on there for a year. You might want to make sure that you send that to them. So you can actually individualize those according to groups or individual, just depending on how versed you are at understanding that. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because these are available to you. These are tools of the trade. And the trade is your online business, your online system that you're creating. One of the things I like to share with people is we are all creators. You included are a creator. You created the life that you have. The things that you're doing, the way you pay your bills, the way you go to work, the way you raise your family, you created that. That didn't just happen. And it wasn't by accident. You did that on purpose. Now, one of the things I like to always share with people is we're all creators, but only the successful people will admit it. Right? Now, you ask someone who's not doing too well whether or not they created that lifestyle for themselves, then they're probably going to deny it. And if you flip that over and ask someone who's doing extremely well, did they create that? What do you think their response is going to be? Absolutely. But they're both right. I mean, he's right. The one who said it wasn't his fault is not right. Because you can always say no. You always have a choice, right? Sometimes the consequences are detrimental, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. You know, you have to be willing to sacrifice. Just like once you decide that you want to do something, there are certain sacrifices that must come into play. You can no longer, hang out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then come back and do, your regular daily duties. That's not a good fit, because sooner or later it's going to wear you down. You're going to be shortening some other things. If you need to spend time, like I'm creating these episodes. If I'm creating these episodes but I'm extremely tired, that's not a good look for the people I'm trying to convince or persuade or inform or any adjective you want to use there of how to do something. No, 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 no. I need to be consistent and I need to be alert. I need to be aware and I need to kind of walk that walk so that, they're not looking at me as a joke, right? And that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to see you on the next episode.